Welcome back. Going into the 2015-16 season, the Lakeland Rustlers women's basketball team had one goal, and that was to reach the national championship. Moses Woldu caught up with head coach Chris King to talk about the first half of the season.
First and foremost, I want to say, Chris, thank you for joining me. I know it's been a historic run for you. Did you ever expect, with the group of ladies you have, to be 12-0 the first half of the year?
Yeah, I think you always dream of going 12-0 and having the perfect season. If you would have told me that in August, I would have called you a liar. We definitely had some flaws and some things to get over. The girls have been outstanding so far this year, so very pleased where we're at right now.
You look at the girls that you have on this team, I don't even know if there's really a rookie that you could call a rookie. You got a lot of first years last year that got a lot of playing time and have matured and have shown some great prominence. An example, Shania Magnuson, a lady that's matured, it seems, and blossomed overnight. Can you explain that a little bit and how she's really been fundamental for your success so far?
Shania is kind of one of those products that you look at, and that's what you hope happens in your program, right? A girl comes in the first year, plays well some nights she's a little bit off, and then gets more consistent as she gets a little more mature, a little bit more confident in herself. Obviously last year she played a ton of minutes in a tough position, and now she knows what the league's about. She's a lot more confident, and the rest of the team, all those first years are now second years as well, so that really spreads.
Now you talk about Shania and the great play that she's provided. Let's talk about a fifth year that you've kind of leaned on at times, and for whatever reason, Cameo McCurley has found that next level. What can you say about her play, and are there times where you're kind of shocked and surprised at some of the things she's able to do on the court on a weekly basis?
I've been shocked since her first year, the things that she does on the court on a weekly basis, but now we see it consistently both sides of the floor, whether it's scoring the ball, setting up her teammates, knocking down threes, which she's really added to her game, and then obviously the blocks. After being a year out of high school and seeing her get better every single year, and this program meaning more to her, you know, last year was the first time we made semifinals ever, and now this year that's not the goal. The goal is to get to the finals, to win ACAC, and to move on. So I can't say enough good things about Cam's play. She's really carried us when we need a bucket, when we need a stop. She just does everything on both ends of the floor, and I really think a lot of our girls feed off of her.
And let's talk about some of the rookies that have come in, and like Lee's a prime example of that as well. Someone who's adjusted to the ACAC game very quickly.
Yeah, Nike coming in from the States, coming into a different style of basketball, took a little while to get used to our style of play. I think she struggled with confidence early. As her confidences came in, she's got better and better for us, and now she does things on both sides of the floor, and when she's really dialed in, we're really good. Same thing as Cameo defensively and offensively, and Nike can really set up plays and score the ball for us.
What do you kind of envision for your team going into the second half of the 2015-16 season?
Our focus is March 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Win those games, go to nationals, and that's been our sole focus all year. And as I've said to you several times, we keep talking about the route and focusing on the route that makes us good to get the fruit at the end of the season. So the girls, it's a corny cliche, but the girls have really bought into it. We're excited about hosting. It's our first time ever hosting basketball here. I think we'll get a great crowd, and I think that energy will really help us in our quarterfinal, hopefully semifinal, and hopefully finals.
He's played at the highest level in both college and the pros. Now Sheree Thomas tries his hand at coaching after being named the head coach of the Rustlers men's basketball team. Moses Woldu sat down with the rookie head coach to discuss the year so far.
Sheree, thank you for joining me here today. I know there's a lot going on in your first year as a head coach. Tell me how the experience has been for you from, I guess, the off season to what we're seeing here at the end of the first semester.
Yeah, first, thanks for having me. Yeah, it was an adjustment piece, kind of getting this position, kind of, 4 months till start of season, and kind of have to adjust through a piece of recruiting, seeing who could come back, seeing who was, who was available. Total different adjustment from being a player, right? Being a player, you're getting yelled at, have to deal with the training, have to deal with injuries, have to deal with the game mode, to being a coach where, you have to prepare for teams, you're the one doing the barking. You see the kind of things that coaches didn't like when you were a player, so it's totally different.
Interesting to be on the other side of the fence, isn't it?
Definitely. It's something that you kind of see it when you're a player, but you don't really know what what coaches expect or, you know, what they're thinking until you're in their shoes.
You've been blessed to have great coaches in your life from, you know, your little league, I guess, basketball, if you will, all the way up from high school to the university level, the great Tubby Smith at the University of Kentucky. Have you drawn anything from them to kind of formulate what you have right now?
You take bits and pieces from all of them, and they just mold you as a person. I feel it's important to mold each player as a person and concentrate on academics and kind of things outside of basketball. And I think it goes hand in hand. So if you're late for class, or if you're doing bad in school, or if you're late for, you know, for practice.
Only 2 returnees.
Yes.
You look at where you're at. Some of the guys you brought in, PJ Gardner being one of them.
Yeah.
You know, Terrell Murdaugh is another guy. Yeah. You look at the core that you have going forward in the second half of the year. Yeah. What are you expecting from this 6-6 ball club? Is there a lot more aspirations than just getting to provincials, or is this all a baby step formula for
Our
you?
goal is always to not just go to provincials. We want nationals. You know, that's always a goal. We want to, you know, shoot for the stars and, you know, set the goals high, because if you set them low, you know, if you fall short, then what is there to fall back on, right? So for us, yeah, we just try to get better every day. Most other teams have 6 or 7 returning players. They're in their 3rd, 4th year. For us, we have a lot of guys in their 1st year, 2nd year. It's a lot of things, a lot of adversity, but I told the guys that that's what we're going to have to face. That's what basketball is. If you want to, you know, be special, there's going to be a lot of adversity.
Well, coming up after the break, we're serving up the volleyball coaches. Stay tuned.